It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, what's happening? What's happening, guys? Good morning to you. Happy Friday the 13th to you all. It is Friday, December 13th, 2019. I'm happy to be here with you guys. I don't really believe in the whole Friday the 13th stuff or bad luck or anything like that. So just another day for me. Hopefully you guys feel the same. But good morning to all of you. Patricia, Dina, good morning. I see you guys over there commenting already. Thank you for being here as always. This morning we're going to talk about a topic that, quite frankly, a lot of the topics that I talk about actually are things that are on my own mind. And so I share them with you guys because, as part of my journey, I think it's important, that we keep ourselves kind of in check. And the way that I do that a lot of times is talking to you guys about the things that I am personally working on myself. And so here today into next week, I'm really starting to kind of refine my vision for the remainder of this year, for 2020. What does that look like from a business standpoint, a life standpoint, just kind of all the way around? What is my vision for the future? And so the title of this show this morning is How Clear is Your Vision? What does your future look like? And how can you make it significantly better? And we're going to cover some of the tactical things that I try to do that I've figured out over the years here as to how to keep myself focused, how to dial it back in when it gets, a little bit off track. And so that's some of the things that I'll be working on today. I already started working. I wrote a bunch of stuff down in my planner, so I've got a good strategy for the day. I'm going to, attack the day, and I've got a lot of those things prioritized as to how I'm going to create, recreate, and improve my vision for, what I'm doing, what our company is doing, what our team is doing. All of that type of stuff is actually on my planner for today. So I'm going to share with you guys the process of what that looks like. Good morning, Hunter, Bruce. What's happening? Nico coming from Germany, man. What time is it over there in Germany? Got to be almost. Maybe it's nighttime in Germany. I don't even know. But at any rate, what's happening, AJ? Good morning, brother. I have this question for you guys. So when you're starting to talk about your vision, here's what I have found in working with a bunch of clients over the years and starting to try and uncover exactly where that vision gets off track. And it happens to all of us, by the way. Our baseline emotions are impacted by things that happen in our lives. So from business challenges to personal challenges to just working yourself to a point of exhaustion, all of those things will impact what your baseline emotion is at that time of your life. And so I want you guys to think about this, and we've talked about this before on this show, but is your baseline emotion, is it worry? Is it concern? Is it optimism? Is it happiness? Is it fulfillment? When you start talking about what your baseline emotion is at a particular time, because this can change. For a lot of people, that's wired into us at a very young age. And so a lot of people spend their lifetime fighting that worry or concern or fear, right? But it can be overcome. Any of those baseline emotions that don't serve you, it can be overcome with a lot of hard work and focus and discipline as to how you rebuild the way that you think. And so that's the first thing that I want you guys to take away this morning is just because you find yourself thinking a certain way frequently, it doesn't mean that that's how you have to think forever. You can absolutely rewire this thing inside of your head to serve you rather than fight against you. And so when you spend downtime, what are those emotions that you currently experience? And then think about, what do you actually want those emotions to be? That's step number one. Step number two is this, guys. What I have realized in my lifetime is this. When I spend downtime, and by downtime, I mean time without a plan, not being organized, just kind of taking things as they come. What happens when you spend that downtime, when you're not active? So for me, it's either, I'm doing something business related, then I'm spending time with my family, I'm hanging out with my kids, I'm engaged, I'm either talking to them, or I'm reading a book to them, or whatever the case is, but I'm active, right? I'm moving. If I spend downtime, meaning I just, and you got to do this every once in a while, but you got to watch how much you're doing it, and I'll tell you why. When I spend downtime, so I'm just sitting around, or I'm vegging out on the couch watching something on television that I don't actually want to watch, it's just there for some noise. What happens is we all make room for negative thoughts to take over our mental cycles. And so when you spend that time without a plan, when your calendar isn't full, you're going to make room for these negative thoughts. You're going to fog up your vision for the future, because the things that we go through in life are difficult. Every single one of us goes through difficult things. The way that we keep a crystal clear vision is by having a strategy, having a plan, filling your calendar. Some of the notes that I wrote down this morning thinking about this is full calendar. So when you look at your calendar and it's packed every single day with stuff, you have a full and happy and energetic life. True or false? Think about that in your own life. It's 100% true in mine. When I have a full calendar, when I'm going from work to dinner, to spending time with my wife, to my kids, to activities, to this, I'm always feeling good. I'm fast-paced. I'm moving. I just feel good. When your body is moving until you get to that point of exhaustion, you're feeling pretty good. You've got a good pace about yourself, and you're moving forward in a positive direction. It's those days, guys, where we have an empty calendar, where we don't take the time to plan out the day. And so all these things are coming at us, and we're taking things as they come. When you have an empty calendar, you get all of the negative experiences in life, and you have all the time in the world to think about the things that are negative. This is how it works, guys. If you look at successful people, incredibly successful people, what you're going to find is that they have a full calendar every single day. Most really successful people have people that actually manage their calendar for them, because that's how important this is. That's how important it is to have a full calendar, to keep yourself moving forward, to keep yourself busy and moving in the direction of your vision. I guess we should back up and say the first step is you have to get very clear on what that vision is. I do, Nico, have a layout of how I manage my day. It's a planner that I can share with you guys. If you guys want it, just DM me and I'll send you the planner. It is as simple as printing it out on your printer, 3-hole punching it, putting it in a 3-hole binder, and using that as kind of your guide every day. But I'll go through with you guys exactly what is on these pages that I utilize. So I have one side is my daily routine. So that is like when I wake up in the morning, I have goal setting, I have a quote of the day, I have today's critical tasks, and then below that I have today's successes. So as I accomplish things, as I mark things off the list, I write those down. It helps me create momentum in my life. Below that, I have plan forward. So on the opposite page, I have a to-do list in addition to today's critical tasks. So the critical tasks are the ones that I absolutely have to get done today, no questions asked. And then the to-do list is after I get done with all that stuff, where do I go next? So I have a plan forward section in here that has 4 things that I can move to the following day. And that is, just days happen, right? So we don't always get everything done on our to-do list. How do we plan those things forward? Below that, I have today's book or audio book, so whatever I'm reading or listening to, and then I have a motivational video and podcast. That is my morning routine. So I go through all of these things. I read scripture. I've showed you guys the book that I use that helps me, get in that kind of groove. The left side of the page is just a to-do list, and then at the bottom, it's my daily schedule. So it goes from 7 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock in the evening, and I restrict it to that for good reason. I'm trying to, not work from, the sun up to sundown every single day and until my kids go to bed. So that's intentional for me. You guys could change that if you wanted to. But absolutely, this planner is what gives me structure to my day, and it is when I am most clear on what I'm doing. Because when you start to write it down, you force yourself to think about exactly what your vision is. The other thing that I will tell you about your vision is it's important to have 2 sets of goals, what I call sprint goals. So something you're going to accomplish in the next 30 days or week or the next couple of days, and then marathon goals. So what does it look like long term for you? What are you going to accomplish in the next year, in the next couple of years? I don't get too far out ahead of my skis when it comes to going too far down the road, because I think that so much in this world changes that your goals may not even be close to the same a couple of years from now as what you think they are now. And chances are you're going to way undershoot what you're actually capable of doing once you start accomplishing things in the short term. One of the things that I've been saying a lot pretty frequently recently is this. I think that we way overestimate what we can get done in a day. So we put way too much on our plates every single day, but we way underestimate what we can accomplish in a month or a week or a year. And so if you guys can get focused and you can get your vision clear of where you want to go, and you can be, somewhat reasonable in what you need to accomplish every day, and just keep chaining together those incredibly aggressive daily goals, and you are checking a lot of things off your critical task list, you're checking a lot of things off your to-do list, you're writing down a lot of successes that make you feel good. When you get to the end of a week, you're going to look back and say, man, I can't imagine how I accomplished all that. That is what it feels like for me. If I look back at the last 2 years of what we've created, both at the Pavement Group and other ventures that we've got going on, I look back and say, wow, what we were able to accomplish is literally, to a lot of people, would be unbelievable. But it's because we had a crystal clear vision of what we were going to do, why we were going to do it, and then we held each other accountable by discussing that vision. If you guys are out there as solo entrepreneurs, you absolutely have to get somebody in your life that is going to help hold you accountable. We are not, as human beings, we are not meant to be in this alone. We are not meant to accomplish our goals alone. We're not meant to hold ourselves accountable solely. Self-accountability and discipline is important, but when things get tough, you have to have a person that helps you get back on track, that encourages you when times get bad, and helps you maintain that vision. So it's important to set your vision. It is almost equally as important to share that vision with other people, so that they can help you maintain that baseline emotion that you're looking to have. This is the most critical piece of how you get somewhere, how you complete running the business or life marathon in a way that's effective for what your goals are. Because if you are just taking every day as it comes, and this is literally, guys, if you think about this, you look around the people, Don't even look at yourself. Just look at the people around you in your life. Most of the people in this world are taking the days as they come. They're taking life as it is delivered to them. They are not delivering it to life. And that is a very, very critical thing to flip the script on in your life. You have to be able to manage your days, plan and execute your weeks, have a vision for what the next month looks like. What are you going to be doing? When you start thinking ahead, you start thinking out ahead of where you're at right now. The best business owners are planning multiple years ahead because that's how secure their business is at the time. They are looking years down the line because they're anticipating what's going to happen. That's important. And again, those plans change as you get closer, but it's really important for you guys to look and say, I'm 40 years old. So the thought goes through my mind all the time. Where am I going to be at 45 years old? How do I reverse engineer this to get to where I'm trying to go? And it's one step at a time. It's 1 year at a time. It's 1 month at a time. You have to break it down to a granular state to be able to manage and successfully achieve the vision that you set for yourself. It is not something that you can do over a 5-year period. When you give yourself too much time to accomplish a goal, your chances of accomplishing that goal significantly go down because you give yourself a break. You say, oh, I've got time. Oh, I've got, I can take this day off, or I can blow off this appointment. And those things add up, guys. Just like the positive behaviors add up and get you closer to where you want to go, the negative behaviors do the same. So they may seem like minor little decisions. Oh, missing this one appointment is no big deal. Not completing this task today is no big deal. Blowing off the afternoon on a Friday is no big deal. Those people that don't blow off those Fridays, I want you guys to think about this. If you blow off an afternoon once a month, right? Once a month, you just blow off the afternoon. And somebody else really capitalizes. Your competition is capitalizing on their afternoons. So once a month, you're going to do that. That's 4 hours once a month times 12. Think about that. 4 hours once a month times 12. You lose 1 week of productivity. 1 week and 8 hours. 1 week and 1 day that your competition is getting out ahead of you because your vision wasn't clear enough to hold you accountable to stay. And so the first thing that I would tell you guys is that morning routine is critical. If you guys want that planner, happy to send it to you. It has helped me tremendously. It's helped me tremendously be able to just manage the mass amount of activity that I have coming at me. If I don't do that, it is very difficult for me to stay focused. I find myself doing what so many of you probably experience too. It's taking those days as they come to me. It's not being effective with the time that I have. I want you guys, so for those of you who are out there that have kids, here's how I hold myself accountable to staying focused during the workday as often as I can. I believe that every minute that I spend ineffective, sitting in front of a computer trying to accomplish business tasks, are minutes that I'm stealing from my children, minutes that I'm stealing from my wife, because there's more minutes that I have to spend doing business stuff that I could be spending with them if I was just more effective. And that starts with us recognizing when we're off track and getting back to those things that make us feel the most intentional, the most focused, the clearest with our vision. And for me, that is my morning routine, writing down my goals, figuring out what I have to do, creating a to-do list that's effective, and then working that to-do list to death. If you guys have any questions on this, by all means, DM me. It's one of the things that I'm most passionate about with regard to coaching. I think that if you don't have a plan, you are just fighting a losing battle, to be honest with you. If you don't have a crystal clear vision of where you're trying to go, what you're trying to impact, who you're trying to help, these things, this is what everybody who is super successful and super effective in life is going to have when you start analyzing what they do. Good morning, Bruce, John, Lydia, Dom. What's happening, guys? Thanks for jumping on here. Derek, Elizabeth, thank you so much. Christina, good morning. Dean, what's going on, man? Judd, my brother, what's happening, man? So I hope this was effective for you guys, and I hope that as we get into this back half of the year, guys, this is another thing. So it's December 13th. Most people are going to listen to this conversation and think, oh, yeah, man, I'm going to be really effective in 2020. If you are waiting until January 1st to create this kind of vision, this kind of plan, or create this kind of disciplined behavior every day in your life, you are missing the boat, because you are wasting however many days are left in 2019. It takes some time to make this a habit. It takes some time for you to think about truly what your vision is so that you can make that vision effective as you get into 2020. If you're starting in 2020, it's not going to be effective until you get into February. If you're not very good or you're not very disciplined, it could be March, it could be June by the time that you actually get this implemented. So keep that in mind, guys. I appreciate all of you being on here. If you found this effective, if there's a friend of yours that you think could have a little bit clearer vision or needs a little bit of discipline or structure in their life, please share this with them. Tag somebody in the comments that you think needs to hear it. I appreciate you guys being here every single morning. There was a lot of shares on yesterday's show. I appreciate you guys doing that. Bruce, thank you for sharing this morning. The mission here is easy, guys. It's to help as many people as we possibly can. And you never know who needs to hear this message. There could be somebody in your life. It could be your mother, your father, your aunt, uncle, cousin, anybody that needs to hear this message. If you tag them in it, it could change their life. And I've had those types of things, those aha moments, the light bulbs go off from just random videos that I've watched that have made me look at life completely different. And that has impacted the life of not just me, but my children, my wife, my family, everybody. So don't be greedy and keep this to yourself. Make sure that you guys share, tag some people that you think could benefit from it. And man, I just appreciate you guys being here every single morning. So by all means, stop back again Monday morning. I will see you guys again, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. I love you guys.